Hi, welcome to 9malls review of the Aero Knife. I'm actually really excited to try this product out because I just watched the infomercial and they make some amazing claims in that. So I'm going to go through some of the claims in my test and see if it lives up to that infomercial. So here's the packaging. This was purchased off Amazon. Pretty generic packaging. Here's the knife, very lightweight, but it is laser cut according to the commercials. Comes with a little cardboard sleeve, and here is the knife. The handle has a nice kind of smooth plastic, nice shape to it, nice feel, but yeah, very lightweight. And here is the blade. So the whole premise is this is going to be much easier to cut things because these holes, it was laser cut. So nothing's going to stick to this blade. So is that actually the case? My first test in the infomercials, they throw a tomato right at the blade and it cuts it in half. So I'm going to try that right now on camera and see if it works. Here we go. Alright, so it didn't go all the way through, but did cut it slightly. Here we go again. I'm going to throw it a little bit harder, see if I can get this blade to cut this tomato in midair. It takes a lot of force, so I'm going to try it one more time. And much harder than what they show on the infomercial to get this tomato to cut in midair. Here we go. I really want to do this actually. I'm going to just throw it. Use my baseball experience. Nope. Can't slice the tomato in midair. So that's a little disappointing. Infomercial makes it look like you'll be slicing tomatoes in midair like it's nothing. So I'm just going to cut it. And it's doing a decent job. I wouldn't say any better than a regular knife. I'm going to get out my chef's knife. Here's my chef's knife right here. See if I can cut the tomato. And, you know, the tomato does stick to it to a certain extent. But, you know, like the infomercials, I feel like they make up problems that really aren't problems. Is a tomato sticking to your blade really... Is that really holding you back? Is that a big deal? Yeah, it kind of doesn't stick to the blade as much as the chef's knife. So I would give them that, but to me that's never been an issue. I really don't care. It's really easy to get off tomatoes from the blade, and even cheese. So that's, you know, one of the things, the infomercials. So the infomercial claims that cheese, you can just push through the cheese with almost no force, and it'll just come right off. So let's see if that's true. And I'm actually pushing down with a lot of force. Yeah. Pushing down with tons of force. This is me with no force. Doesn't even cut the cheese, like they say in the infomercial. But the cheese doesn't stick to the blade. Let's see if it sticks to the chef's knife. So yeah, it does, like the infomercial claims. But like I said, to me that's not a big deal. It's just they're trying to make up things to get you to buy the knife that really aren't problems. Alright, so let's just go through some everyday items you might be cutting. Here's a potato. Alright, and then it's just, you know, for comparison, the chef's knife. You know. Pretty comparable, but this is not a durable knife. I mean, I'll show you. Look how it bends. Alright, so I'm bending the knife. Alright, here's a cucumber. But if I was selling a chef's knife. A chef's knife, you just hold it in place, and you can do the chopping motion. Even though it does kind of stick to the blade, isn't that easier than you can do it a little bit, but it's not quite as easy as a chef's knife. If I were you, I'd just buy a high quality chef's knife, and that will be a knife that's going to last you a long time. You can sharpen it. This would probably not, it's a hard knife to sharpen. Okay, so got that. Let's try an apple. All right, so it didn't stick to the blade. And here's our chef's knife. And stuck to the blade a little bit. But like I said, that really isn't an issue. So, the Aero Knife. Let's see if we can bend it. See, we're bending it. Is it still straight? Straight enough. Yeah, I see a little curve in it. What do you think? So, yeah, the Aero Knife. I think it's a decent knife. There's lots of as seen on TV type knives. We have the Yoshi blade, which is an old review that I had. But in the end, this is a cheap knife that was laser cut, and their selling point is things don't stick to it. I'd recommend just getting a nice chef's knife. I think you'll be happier in the long run than a knife like this. But if you want to test it out and spend $10 on Amazon, I would say go for it. It works well enough that I think it's worth trying out if you have the money. But I think your money is better spent by investing a little bit more and finding a nice reviewed knife. So once again, would I recommend the Aero Knife? The answer is kind of. So if you have the money, like I said, I'd say go for it. If not, I wouldn't recommend buying this because I think there's better options. And just because you don't want something to stick to your knife, I don't think is a reason to buy it. That's never been really an issue for, I would say, anyone. And yeah, so it didn't cut a tomato in midair. It's not quite as impressive in real life as what you see on TV. Maybe with sharpening the blade, it would cut a tomato in midair, but just right out of the box, it should be sharp. It should be quality. Doesn't cut cheese like they say in the infomercial without. They make it sound like it cuts through a block of cheese with almost no force, and that's definitely not the case. It takes a lot of force. If you'd like more information on the Aero Knife, go to 9malls.com. That's the number 9, MALLS.com, and click on the As Seen on TV graphic. That'll take you over to Amazon, where you can find tons of reviews on the Aero Knife and tons of other opinions besides my own. You can also make a purchase if you'd like. And also, please subscribe to my channel. All right, till next time, thanks for watching the Aero Knife.